The moment was electric. The room buzzed with tension so thick it felt like the air itself was holding its breath. Cameras flashed, microphones leaned forward, and journalists scribbled frantically. At the center of it all stood Alec Baldwin, his voice booming with righteous indignation, eyes blazing with a mix of frustration and defiance. For nearly a minute, he ranted, his words cutting through the air like a storm, attacking policies, questioning motives, and challenging authority in a way only Baldwin could. Every syllable carried the weight of passion, but also of chaos. And then came the calm. Smooth, deliberate, almost disarmingly so. John Kennedy rose from his chair, his expression serene, eyes steady, voice measured. He didn't raise his hand, he didn't yell, he didn't interrupt with a counterattack. Instead, he leaned slightly forward, a faint smile touching his lips, and in a voice that was both gentle and absolute, said, "Sit down, Mr. Baldwin." The room froze. Time seemed to stop. Alec's fiery tirade halted mid-sentence, as if someone had pulled the plug on the electricity powering his words. For 10 seconds, 10 impossibly long, suspended seconds, silence reigned. And in that silence, the power of Kennedy's presence was undeniable. Not arrogance, not force, not theatrics, simply authority born of composure and conviction. It had started hours earlier. Baldwin had been invited to a live discussion on political accountability, a conversation intended to dissect the state of the nation's leadership. But Baldwin, known for his celebrity bravado, had arrived with his usual intensity, prepared to dominate the stage with his voice, charm, and celebrity influence. He launched into his points with fervor, his anger mounting as he felt unheard, his frustration at perceived injustice bubbling over. The audience initially clapped at his passion, but the mood quickly shifted. The rant that began as spirited critique threatened to turn into chaos. Kennedy, meanwhile, had watched from the sidelines, calm and collected. He had been briefed on Baldwin's temperament, of course, but he had no intention of meeting fire with fire. Instead, he listened, noting not just the content of Baldwin's words but the energy behind them, the frustration, the fear, the desire to be seen and understood. Kennedy knew that the moment called for something beyond argument. It called for presence. As Baldwin's tirade reached its peak, voices in the room grew tense. Some tried to interject politely, others shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Kennedy stepped forward. His presence alone seemed to reshape the energy in the room. And then, with a clarity that cut through Baldwin's storm like sunlight through clouds, he spoke, "Sit down, Mr. Baldwin." It wasn't humiliating. It wasn't dismissive. It was firm, grounded, and impossible to ignore. Baldwin paused, his chest heaving, eyes widening, not in anger, but in recognition. For the first time in that public setting, someone